Hi Stampers, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Today's project uses the fry box die, and I'm going to actually show you how to make two of these boxes and stick them together for a double fry box. So let's get started with the list of supplies you're going to need today. You're going to need, of course, the fry box die, and we're actually going to be cutting two of these with real red cardstock. You're also going to need a piece of Pacific Point cardstock for some stamping, and a larger piece of Whisper White cardstock for your stamping. For inks, we're going to be using Pacific Point and Real Red. You're also going to need stamping dimensionals, and the stamp set we're using is All About Sugar, which is specifically made for the fry box die. It's really cute. And we're going to need quite a few punches. The washi tape or washi label punch, the 2.5 inch circle punch, the 2 inch circle punch, the 1 inch square, and the large oval punch. So let's get started with our box. I'm going to do all of the cutting and the stamping ahead of time here, so we'll have everything ready. So you need 2 circles measuring 2.5 inches with the Whisper White cardstock, 2 circles using the Pacific Point and the 2 inch circle punch. So we've got those. And for stamping, we're going to need the bottom of the box, and the Pacific Point ink is what we need to stamp this one, and we're going to need 2 of them. And again, to make the stamping a little bit better, we're going to bring in the piercing mat to add additional cushion to our stamping. That way our images come out a lot better. So we're going to need 2 of these. And then with the Real Red ink, we're going to have the layer. It says Sweet Treats. Now, because this has the lettering right in the stamp image, when you ink your stamp, do not press hard on the ink pad because the ink will go into those letters. So what I normally do is just let it sit there and give it a little push. And as you can see, the lettering is nice and neat. Again, I'm just going to let it sit there. Just give it a little push and stamp. We're also going to need 2 of the square image, and that says it's party time. Same thing, let it sit, and it actually absorbs the ink all by itself. So there's 2 of those. And the last thing we're going to stamp is for the washi label punch, again using Pacific Point ink on Pacific Point cardstock. So we're going to need 2 of those. Now let's punch the washi label. So there's 2 of those. Let me put all my pieces here. And the party time is cut out with the square punch. So there's 2 of those. And for these, you could have cut another piece right here with your Whisper White, but I think it's just as easy to cut these out. I love to fussy cut. A lot of my customers don't. I don't find this hard at all. just follow the curves. Like I said, to me, it's just as easy to cut these out as it is to try to figure out where to stamp them. So I'll go cut the remaining 3 pieces and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I've cut out all of the pieces. I did leave just one portion to show you how I did these 2 pieces. I left a little bit of white space on the outside only because of layering. I thought the little white on the side would bring out the red. And then what I did on the top and bottom is I just followed the lines from where the blue is stamped. So like I said, that was pretty easy to cut. So you should have 2 blue, 2 red, 2 squares, 2 washi labels, and then the 2 layers of circles. Now let's assemble our box. So let me move these over. And when you cut the box with the die, I know it's probably hard to see on the camera, but the score lines are all scored for you. So you'd have 2 for the upper portion or the front portion of the box and 2 for the back. And then I would take my bone folder to make these nice and crisp. Now when it comes to the circular lines, what I do is I put my thumbs like so, and I just push down, and the box takes shape all by itself. And then you just kind of pinch. So as you can see, there's the rounded shape that you need. And we'll do the same with the other side. Just put your thumbs and then pinch. So there's your first box. And we're going to use Fast Fuse today because it's a 3D item and I don't want it to fall apart. The only thing you have to remember when putting these together is they don't overlap flap to flap. It's on end to end. So don't put glue to the width of the flap, because then you'll have a lot of glue for nothing sticking out. So what I will do is put glue on the smaller of the 2 flaps and on the inside only on both of them. And remember, when you're using this adhesive, you roll and then you go off to the side to break. And what I'm going to do to make this easy is stand it up. So I'm going to put this flat on my work area and then bring these until they hit my workspace so they're nice and flat. And they will both sit evenly. So there's my little fry box. Now let's do the second one. I probably should have done this one ahead of time, but I didn't. They don't take very long to put together. Again, we're going to pinch. It's funny how a flat piece of cardstock can turn into a curved 3D box. Okay, again, we're going to do our fuse and we're going to roll and off to the side. And they mention this as a check mark. Just think of a check mark. Roll, check mark. Again, flat. Okay, and let's put our boxes together. Now the reason I added the circles on the side is because they will not, of course they're curved, so they're not going to glue flat on the back. So we're going to add a strip of glue in the middle and at the very top. So go down the center and then at the very top I put 2 more there. I'm going to stand these side by or back to back and then just push so that they line up. And as you see, they do not glue to each other on the sides because they are rounded. So now let's do the handle. We're going to bring in the large oval punch, and you're just going to slip it inside, and I just make sure it's evenly spaced on each side, and then punch, and there's your handle. For ribbon, I'm using the white satin ribbon and the cherry cobbler baker's twine, and all I did was put it through the handle, bring in the cherry cobbler and wrap it around, and then we're going to tie the cherry cobbler into a bow. And I'm just going to pull my loops in to tighten them. And I'll make them a little bit smaller. And now I'm going to trim my white satin. And I did make one a little bit longer, the one in the back a little bit longer than the one in the front. So there's your ribbon. Now we are ready to glue all our pieces, and I have gone ahead and done one side of each, just so you won't have to watch me do the whole thing. So for the side piece, you have your two circles that you're going to layer and glue together, and you're going to put It's Party Time. It's got one dimensional on the back. Just center this on your circle. And the only reason I did the side pieces was pretty much to cover the crack that shows when you glue the two boxes together. So we're going to stick this so you have one on each side. And for the front piece, I put dimensionals on the back of this and also on the back of the real red piece. We're going to glue that to the blue piece and just center that. Whoops, it's a little crooked. And then the washi label also has stamping dimensionals on it. Make sure the word is not upside down. I had to double check my other one, make sure I had that one right. And remove the backing, and we're going to glue this to the other side of your box and centered, and that's it. So 2 double boxes of the fry box, and all 4 sides are decorated, and I'll have individual pictures like I did at the beginning of my video. I'll also list all the supplies I used, and if you'd like to place an order, I'll have the link to my online store. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Have a good day.